You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Oh, yes, indeed, everybody. Welcome. It's the R.Kelly Show for the September 30th, 2021. Man, October 1st is tomorrow. And it's getting kind of nippy out there, so everybody just accept it. I see you walking around out there with shorts and whatnot. Knock it off. The summer's over. That's it. It is over, and that's it. And it's going to be cold pretty soon. So there. Anyway, welcome everybody, and thanks so much for joining me. It's 7 p.m. Thursday, September 30th, 2021. You are watching, listening to, perusing, checking out me, The Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com, and broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook. So we got a lot to talk about this evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Shout out to my peeps down at Fume. I'll be down in a few to watch the football game. It's a boring game, but we'll watch it anyway. Shout out to Steph and Dr. Lamb and Marsh and Dex and all my people down at sorry if I missed anybody. All my people down at Fume Cigar Lounge in the great city of Montclair, New Jersey, where the Ron Kelly Show originates from. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. This evening, you're watching the Ron Kelly Show live on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, my people who don't watch me, and I know they don't watch me because there's thousands of folks out there who listen to me on radio, the Ron Kelly Show on blogtalkradio.com. So thanks so much, everybody. However you're watching me or listening to me, I appreciate you tuning in. Shout out to Suzanne Newman, who's out there in nowhere, no man's land, better known as Staten Island. Shout out to her, and thanks so much, Suzanne, for your support. And little Fido, you see pictures of him on Facebook all the time. Okay, so wow, a lot going on. You know, I want to talk about the R.Kelly debacle. But first, Full House. You remember Full House back in the day? John Stamos and a couple other people. Lori Loughlin, and her husband. Well, Lori Loughlin starred on Full House from, I think it was from 88 to 95, somewhere around there. Y'all remember Full House too with the Olsen twins. They were so cute and they grew up to be anyway. So Lori Loughlin and her husband were prosecuted for paying $500,000 to get their daughters enrolled in UCLA, I guess because they weren't smart enough to get in on their own. Well, Ms. Lori is going back to television, and I guess all is forgiven. She paid a $150,000 fine, and she got 2 years suspended sentence and 100 hours of community service. Now, you remember Tanya McDowell. Tanya McDowell was a homeless Connecticut mother who tried to enroll her son in a better district, probably closer to, out there in Connecticut. And she went to jail for 3 years. Now, Tanya McDowell, a Black woman, homeless, who was living in her car and with a friend, was jailed for 3 years. She went to prison for 3 years for trying to enroll her son in a better district because she wanted her son to be, to do better. So, so there's a difference. So just another example of the difference of the criminal justice system that treats some folks differently than others. And Lori Loughlin is going back to television now. Tanya McDowell is not going back to television, but it's just an example of the difference of the criminal justice system that treats some people, and I'm not going to say white folks, but I don't want to go there. But the criminal justice system that treats some folks better than it treats others. Shout out to the people, the folks who are new to the Ron Kelly Show. If you're new, welcome. The lights are glaring or bothering me. I'm going to start wearing shades for the next week. But shout out to the people. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to the R.Kelly Show, appreciate your indulgence. Do drop in and hang around for a minute if you can. It's just about 6 minutes past the hour. So Lori Loughlin goes back to television. All is forgiven. She paid her fine, $150,000. She did her community service, and she got 2 years suspended sentence. I think she was in jail for like 3 hours. And poor Tanya McDowell, African-American woman who did 3 years. Now, in fairness to Lori Loughlin, I will say that Tanya McDowell did have drug charges. Now, there's more. Tanya McDowell did have some drug charges pending at the time that she tried to enroll her son in that better district. And so, but the drug charges were dropped, and she had to pay the price for trying to enroll her kid in a better district. So, and she had to pay $6,500. She had to pay $6,500 because she had to pay the school back for. She had to pay the school back for the time that her son was in school. So it's just a stark difference of the criminal justice system in the United States of America that treats the rich and famous better than it treats the average person or the poor African-American person. Anyway, a little bit later on, we're going to talk about Gabby Petito. All the attention that Gabby Petito got, but it might be paying off. I'm going to talk to you about that and tell you what has happened since the Gabby Petito thing first started. I know a lot of y'all, including myself, was like, wow, there's a lot of black people missing. Why all the attention to Gabby Petito? Well, she heard that Gabby Petito, the situation with her could have made a difference, could have lit a fire under some of these television networks to do something. So we'll talk about that. I'll get to that in a little bit after the first break, I believe. So we get to the oh my God, Jesus, to R.Kelly. So fast forward to the R.Kelly trial that just ended early this week with a guilty verdict. And it's not like we didn't know that it's not like we didn't know that R.Kelly it's not like we didn't know that R.Kelly would not be convicted. It was a foregone conclusion. I don't know if the fix was in, but it was a foregone conclusion that R.Kelly would be convicted of the things that they say that he did. And somebody called, and I thank for the people, because people call me and text me and email me all the time about different things, wanted to know what I think. And somebody sent me a message that Bill Cosby, Bill Cosby, Jello Pudding, America's Dad, had said that R. Kelly was railroaded. And, there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. There's some truth to what happened to R. Kelly. And I'm not saying that R. Kelly, I'm not to defend him, but I saw some people on social media, black folks, incidentally, stating that they wiped their playlist clean of R. Kelly music, which I think is just absurd. There was talk during the Michael Jackson mess, which was amplified by the Bill Cosby mess, that the takedowns of these two black icons were part of a scheme by white folks to take our hope away by taking down our biggest icons. Now, I have no proof of that, but it kind of does make sense that R. Kelly was convicted for the most part by eyewitness testimony and some video that was shown to jurors that shouldn't have been let into the proceedings, because R. Kelly was found not guilty 12 years ago for the same stuff. And he was convicted mostly from, black people testifying against him. Now, Trump, for example, for years has had a parade of women coming forward accusing him of sexual battery, and he still hasn't been charged with a crime. And one of his Supreme Court nominees also was accused of committing sexual assault on this young lady while he was in college, and nothing happened. So So, now, not to defend R. Kelly, because I know there's a lot of people out there, a lot of women, incidentally, who were, ready to hang R. Kelly by his toenails, but there was some extra energy with this R. Kelly thing. It's about 10 minutes, 11 minutes past the hour. You're watching the R. Kelly show. So there was some extra energy that went into this R. Kelly situation. R. Kelly was a big fish. R. Kelly was a big fish. If you're a nobody prosecutor, somebody that nobody knows, you want to bag R. Kelly. Yeah. Now, I'm not defending him. I'm not saying that he was, I'm not endorsing what he's accused of doing. Yeah, because nobody really knows what R. Kelly did beyond the videos and so whatever pictures that may have been taken or he may have taken. Nobody really knows what he did. Much of what's being said about R. Kelly, what was said about R. Kelly in the trial, was eyewitness testimony, so to speak. Some girl went on CBS This Morning, I believe it was, CBS morning program that they had, a nationwide show, CBS This Morning. And went on CBS This Morning, was talking about R. Kelly and what he did and yada yada. He was this, he was that, And R. Kelly, if he actually did everything that they said he did, it's reprehensible. And he should go to jail. And R. Kelly's never going to get out of jail. Now, there's two other trials pending for R. Kelly. One in Minnesota, I think it is, and one in Chicago, which are, which shouldn't even go forward. It's a waste of time because R. Kelly is never going to get out of jail. He's supposed to be, I believe he's going to be sentenced in May of 2022. And at 54 years old, it's a foregone conclusion. R. Kelly's never going to get out of jail. He's 54 years old. But for some people, they get thrown under the bus when they do stuff. And again, what if R. Kelly did everything what they said he did? It's reprehensible. The thing with Aaliyah, she was a young girl. But see. What about the parents? And I've said this, in the past. You can find it on my page. What about the parents? What about the parents that allowed their children to stay with R. Kelly? Because I did some homework on this, and I did come across a couple of mothers and fathers, who wouldn't allow their children to stay at R. Kelly's, compound in Chicago. There were some people who wouldn't let him stay there. There was a father that said he would never let his child stay with R. Kelly. So, in those parents, and R. Kelly, what he did stands alone. It was horrific if he did everything they said he did. But now those parents allowed their children to stay with R. Kelly. And they were instrumental in getting him off the first time because R. Kelly paid these people and they took the money and ran. And they saw the videos of what R. Kelly was doing to their daughters, young girls, and peeing on them, if that's true, urinating on them, I should say. And, some of the other things that he was accused of doing. Now, these parents, when R. Kelly offered these parents money, they took the money and ran. $100,000, $200,000, whatever it was that he gave them, they took the money and ran. Now, knowing what they knew about R. Kelly, because the rumors had been floating around R. Kelly's head for years about this child abuse and keeping people hostage and some of these other things that they said that R. Kelly did. It boggles my mind that he would even have had to keep anybody hostage. I mean, it was R. Kelly. Not R. Kelly with public announcement. It was the group that he was with in the beginning that got him started. But he was R. Kelly, the prolific genius R&B star who revived the careers of some people who were circling the bowl, so to speak. Charlie Wilson, you know, Ronald Isley, people whose careers were over. You know, Charlie Wilson was sleeping in a car or something, you know, and R. Kelly came along and revived their careers. You know, and R. Kelly was a genius. Now, this nonsense about, I still listen to R. Kelly music. You know, I got R. Kelly music on my phone, and I still listen to I Believe I Can Fly and all the other things in the closet, whatever it was, which was genius. The R. Kelly, you know what I'm talking about. The series was genius. So I don't think that, you know, that you should wipe your slate clean because of what R. Kelly did. I think it's absurd that you should stop listening to his music, because his music is separate and apart from what they're accusing him of. You know, I don't see anybody wiping. I don't see anybody wiping Elvis Presley stuff off their phones. You know, Elvis Presley married Priscilla when she was 14, and he was 24 years old. You know, Elvis Presley was 24 years old. Priscilla, she wasn't Presley at the time. She was 14, and they got married. So I don't see anybody wiping the slate clean with Elvis Presley, and not compare Elvis Presley to R. Kelly, because, you know, whatever else Elvis Presley did behind his walls never got out. Because, you know, because we talk about R. Kelly we talk about R. Kelly marrying Aaliyah at the time, back in the day, when she was very young. And she was as young as Priscilla Presley was. And I don't see anybody burning their old Elvis CDs. And I know it's not a fair comparison, because Elvis Presley passed on, and he didn't do any of the things that R. Kelly did. So we, as far as we know, he didn't do any of the things that R. Kelly did. But, you know, I don't see anybody burning Elvis in effigy at the stake. So the fix was in, you know, and R. Kelly does deserve punishment for what he did. Don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to Ronald McCready. He says, good evening, my brother. Thank you so much for joining me. Shout out to my friend DP, my boy DP, just passing through. I appreciate you, my brother. This radio show is, I listen to the first 5 minutes and then I turn it off, because I just want to know how it starts. So if anybody does that to me, you know, hey, okay. You know, people come and go. Well, thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for partaking of the Ron Kelly show. So 19 minutes past the hour. Yeah, so you know, there was the big sin, sure. Was there some little extra energy in getting R. Kelly, because R. Kelly was an icon? He was a musical R&B superstar. R. Kelly could write songs about anything, and there were hits. And lots of people benefited from R. Kelly's genius. A lot of people, lots of folks benefited from R. Kelly's genius. Lots of people. I need to let you guys know that the views and opinions expressed here are exclusively those of myself and R. Kelly Media Enterprises. R. Kelly Media Enterprises are not those of my advertisers or anyone who works for or with me. So, yeah. So, again, I'm not defending him. Not defending R. Kelly. You know, I think that he should get what he deserves. If he did what they said he did, then he should get whatever he deserves. Absolutely. I agree with that. But was there some extra energy? Was there some extra energy? Was there some I'm gonna get you type of thing going on? I 100% believe that there was some extra energy that went behind R. Kelly, the prosecution of R. Kelly, because of who he was. who he was. And there was some extra energy behind the R.Kelly prosecution. Do I believe that? 100%. Okay, anyway, I'm a little bit over, so I'm going to take a quick break and I'll come right back with more of this program. It's the R.Kelly Show, broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook Live, and of course on blogtalkradio.com. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the R.Kelly Show.
Oh, yes, it is, everybody. It's the R.Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the R.Kelly Show.com. Shout out to Nikki Totten. I'm not sure what that means, but okay, shout out to her partaking of the R.Kelly Show. Thank you, my sister. I appreciate you and all who partake of the R.Kelly Show. We've just been on, I think it's been about 6 weeks or so that we've been back on the air. I was off the air for like about 3 months. So I don't see a lot of the folks. I don't see some of the folks, some of the hardliners who partook of the R.Kelly Show during that time. Maybe they got new jobs or whatever, schedules change or whatever the case may be. I don't hold anybody hostage. But I appreciate those who partake of the R.Kelly Show. Okay. This portion of the R.Kelly Show is being sponsored by America and Porterfield Transportation. America and Porterfield for 40 years has provided safe, reliable transportation to and from your destination. Schools, businesses, medical transportation, you name it, America and Porterfield can provide it. And so we'll talk a bit more about them a little later on in the program. But I need to let you know that this portion of the R.Kelly Show is being sponsored paid for by America and Porterfield Transportation. So the Gabby, lots of folks are up in arms about the Gabby Petito situation and Brian Laurie, who's dead. I'm 100% sure that he offed himself somewhere out there in the bushes where he's been hanging out at. I'm 100% sure of that. That's why they can't find him, because when a person is, I mean, even if he's the best survivalist in the world, he's got to go somewhere and re-up on his supplies. He doesn't have a lifetime supply of whatever, he left with a knapsack or, book bag. So I'm pretty sure that he would have to come back and get supplies from somewhere, use some kind of cash. Everybody in the country knows what he looks like. So if he shows up in Alaska, they'll know who he is. So, but all the Gabby Petito, and there were folks who were upset about, and I was concerned myself about the Gabby Petito situation. Gabby Petito was the young girl who was touring the country with her fiance, as they call him, Brian Laurie. And so he came back, they were stopped by the police one time and she seemed to be in distress. I'm not sure why the police didn't do anything. But Mr. Laurie came back from the trip alone, which, raised everybody's eyebrows. They're like, well, where's Gabby? And subsequently, they found her body after they did the autopsy or whatever, the DNA match, and they found her. And Mr. Laurie says that he was advised by his lawyer not to say anything, which I'm like, really? If that was my daughter, I would have wrung his neck. And so people were upset about what happened with Gabby Petito, because Gabby Petito was getting all the attention. It was on the news every 5 minutes. And they did a special on CNN or HLN rather about Gabby Petito. Matter of fact, it was on last night. It's been on a few times, and they're still reporting it's big news with Gabby Petito. And at the same time, Brian Robinson, I believe is Daniel Robinson, young African American, and the argument was, with a lot of black folks, that why is she getting all the attention, and there are African Americans who are missing. So why is Gabby Petito getting all the attention? Well, I think we all know why she was getting all the attention, because she was blonde haired, blue eyed. But the Gabby Petito situation has brought attention to other people of different races, Native Americans, blacks, who are missing as well. And now there's going to be a TV show, News Nation. If you don't have cable, I know Ladio got the Fire Stick. I can't deal with that nonsense. More power to you if you got one. No, more power to you if you got the Fire Stick. I'm just too lazy. I'll let cable rob me, rip me off. But it's easy. I can just push the button or even speak into it, and I'll say ESPN, and it goes right to ESPN. But anyway, so people were upset that Gabby Petito was getting all the attention, the TV shows and all, while there were African Americans all across the country whose families did not get any airplay. Their loved ones who were missing, they did not get any airplay. So there's a TV show that's coming up. It's going to be on News Nation about missing people. News Nation. And it's going to be about people who are missing. And they're going to start off with Daniel Robinson. Now, Daniel Robinson was a young college student. I believe he was a geologist. And he was out in the desert. He went out in the desert. Somebody said that he said some unfathomable nonsense, and he went out into the desert and never came back. So they found his car, crashed into a gully, but all his stuff was still in the car. There was no body, there was no blood, there was nothing to indicate that there was any foul play, as they put it, inside his car. So the father of Daniel Robinson hired a private detective, and the private detective is saying that there's some inconsistencies with what happened with that car. As far as the airbags are concerned, there are some inconsistencies. So the Gabby Petito situation may be helping with other folks who are missing. Like I said, there's going to be a show, and the first person they're going to focus on is Daniel Robinson, this young man, 24 years old, who's missing out in the desert somewhere. And he's supposed to be a geologist, and so I suppose that he was out there, playing with rocks or whatever, and disappeared and has not been seen since. And very, very sad situation. So Gabby Petito may have helped some people, because now she's her and peace be upon her. We'll all mourn her death, but all the light that was shined on her is now being shined on others. So her situation has helped other people. So don't everybody get up yourselves in a tizzy now. Don't get yourselves all upset, because her situation has helped other people, to Gabby Petito. And as far as as I said earlier in this piece, it's about 1:30. What I said in the beginning of this piece is that her fiance is dead, and that's why they can't find him, because I think he killed himself and he's dead out there in the woods somewhere, and that's why they can't find him. Because if you're moving about the country, if he's on the run, he's got to show up somewhere, a hotel, a convenience store, a gas station. I mean, I know he's not walking across the country. So I believe that he's dead, and I believe that will be proven. I'll be proven to be right, as I have been so many other times. That Brian Laurie has chosen to meet his maker because he knows that he's going to be imprisoned for this young girl's death because he was the last person with her. Now they're saying that they because he did use a credit card when he got back home that wasn't his. That's what the warrant is for, because I understand that the federal authorities have a warrant out for this guy, but they're saying that they want him for unlawful use of a credit card, not the death of Gabby Petito. So we'll see what happens with that. It's 31 minutes past the hour. In Washington, there's a lot going on. Well, I'll get to that a little bit later on, in the program. But I want to talk about this People Like Us, or People Like Us, something that was on Fox, who had these other shows, on, who dared to put these other shows on their network, Star and the other one, I can't think of it right now. The one with Terrence Howard, I can't think of the name of the show at the moment. I mean, I didn't watch it that often. But that is a show, People Like Us. And it's kind of like a Black Dynasty. And I saw somebody go on Facebook and say, hey, turn to this. You see, it's always, Black folks have always been portrayed in a certain way. I mean, you're not going to see a show with all Black lawyers. I'm not even sure what happens to the show with the brother. I can't think of the name. The brother who got out of jail, who became a lawyer in jail and got out of jail and started helping other people in jail who were wrongfully accused and who were convicted with bad information, crooked prosecutors and judges, etc. You haven't seen that show for a minute. So you're not going to see a show with all Black doctors or all Black lawyers, or, you're not going to see that. What you're going to see is drama, because that's what we like. That's what folks, not all, but many of our people, that's what we like. We like drama and people stabbing each other in the back and, this kind of stuff. Sleeping with each other and cheating and stealing and betraying and all that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that it's just like Tyler Perry, and props to Tyler Perry. He made $1 zillion out of that stuff, Medea, et cetera, the House of Pain and the Oval, which I think is totally ridiculous, campy almost, but people like it. Not everybody, but there's a lot of people who don't like it. It's not a top 10 show, but it's what people like. And so you're not going to see a show with, if we're not laughing or killing each other or stabbing each other in the back, or, you're not going to see that. You're going to see drama. You're going to see people. You're going to see people. You're going to see people kicking each other's back in. You're going to talk about each other, the kind of stuff we do normally. Yeah. So yeah. So we got there's a lot going on. I got a few more things I need to talk about. It's 34 minutes past the hour of 7:00. Man, it's come out in the morning to go to work, and it's like nippy. You know what I'm saying? It is like it's nippy. But once again, this portion of the R.Kelly Show is being sponsored by Amaker and Porterfield Transportation. So yeah, and I said last week, and I've said this before, that the United States of America has no money. You may like, Ron, what was he talking about? America has no money. The people in America have money. The folks who are the billionaires and the millionaires. but the United States of America has no money. You see, because that's why they're fighting to raise the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling is the limit of money that the United States can borrow, because the United States has to borrow money every time they put out a budget. They have to borrow it from somebody, and that's why everybody's so afraid that if, with this budget situation, everybody's so afraid that if the United States can't raise the debt ceiling, because if they don't raise the debt ceiling, they can't borrow any money. And if the United States can't borrow any money, or if there's a budget crisis right now. So if the United States of America cannot pay its bills, it's not going to. It's going to happen like anybody. Their credit is going to default. The United States of America is going to default. Now the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 540 something points today, and so this is something that I know most people don't pay attention to it. It's busy putting pictures of their food. Look where I am and all of that, which is cool. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily what Facebook was. The concept of Facebook was meant to see the same people's faces every day, but that's going to be a problem. And I know a lot of people don't pay attention to this stuff. I mean, I do, because it's important to me to know what's going on in the world, not just on the block. And so with the crisis that's looming, not necessarily. I'm not talking about the reconciliation, the $3.5 trillion and the $1 trillion bills that they're trying to get passed. I'm talking about if the United States of America, because the United States of America pays billions of dollars in interest on its debt. Now, can you imagine what the interest is on $30 trillion? Can you imagine what the interest is? The United States is so much in debt that it's just unbelievable. But the country, our country the economy is so strong that it's a safe bet that the United States of America is never going to default on its bills. But that's exactly what's facing the country now. The United States could default on its bills. And if it defaults on its bills, all hell is going to break loose. Because no country in the world has the credit rating of the United States of America. And again, like I said, we have to borrow money. You have to borrow money. We don't have, the United States, the country doesn't have money. So for example, when these bills pass, when the $3.5 trillion passes and $1 trillion, if they even do, because they're in danger of not passing, now you got to borrow that money. And other countries throw money at the United States because they know that they're going to, they know that the payments are going to be made. They know that the interest is going to be, they know. So they throw money at the United States of America. And now, because we have a budget, because we have a crisis, if they don't raise the debt ceiling, the country cannot borrow any more money. And if they can't borrow any more money, because part of the budget is the interest that has to be paid on the debt that we already have. So if that debt ceiling is not raised, the country's going to go into a tailspin. Inflation, stock market not crashing, but dipping. And there's going to be all kinds of stuff going on if the country cannot pay its bills. So we'll be taking a look at that. Anyway, it's 20 minutes before the hour. So we'll take another quick break and we'll come right back with more of this program. You're watching the R.Kelly Show, and it's broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube, and also on broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube and on blogtalkradio.com. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com, broadcasting live on Facebook Live and YouTube. So thank you to the folks at Amica and Porterfield for entrusting the Ron Kelly Show with his content. You know, for 40 years, the Amica and Porterfield transportation has been the gold standard for public transportation. Well, not public transportation, but it's been a gold standard for school transportation, churches, field trips, medical transportation, you name it. The American Porterfield transportation can provide it. Safe, reliable transportation to and from your destinations with friendly bus drivers who are courteous and professional. So give them a call. If you need, to satisfy your transportation needs, it's 908-753-6423. That's 908-753-24. 908-753-6423. Or you can email them at amica.porterfield@verizon.net. That's amica.porterfield@verizon.net. Okay, it's 17 minutes before the hour. You are watching me. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com, and on Facebook Live and YouTube. And I want to thank everybody, folks and you can go over to YouTube now. Go over to YouTube, put the Ron Kelly Show in the search engine, and you can subscribe to the Ron Kelly Show. It doesn't cost anything. You can subscribe to the Ron Kelly Show. Now, in regard to the T-shirts now, for folks who don't live near me, you're gonna have to pay for them. That's the bottom line. So I'm gonna have something set up where you can order your Ron Kelly Show, your official Ron Kelly Show T-shirt online. You just put it like you order anything else. Y'all know you put in your size and you pay, and the shirt gets sent to you. So for folks who live out of the New York metropolitan area, now I am providing them for the people who live near me. I am providing to the folks who live in my sphere, live in my atmosphere. But for the other folks who live outside of New Jersey and across the country, you'll have to order your T-shirt online and have it sent to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up an online store, and you're going to be able to order your T-shirt through the online store, and then you pay and you put in your information, just like you do with Amazon or any place else, and your information, and you will be sent a T-shirt. Okay, all right, everybody. It's 14 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock. So lots going on anyway. So yeah. So if you didn't agree with what I said about R.Kelly, feel free to, or anything I've said here. I do accept, comments, good or bad. So if you want to make a comment, you can do that. You can email me, rkellytalk@aol.com. If you want to email me behind the scenes, it's rkellytalk@aol.com. That's rkellytalk@aol.com. Or you can go to my Facebook page, and you can like the Ron Kelly Show on Facebook. Thousands of you have so far. More than 5,000 people follow the Ron Kelly Show. I appreciate each and every one of you. And you can go to the Ron Kelly Show Facebook page and follow me, and you'll get updated on everything I say, and which makes sense sometimes. So do drop in, go to the Ron Kelly Show Facebook page, and you can like it too, but definitely follow the page. And on Instagram, it's R.Kelly Radio. And on and you can follow me on TikTok. TikTok, titty talk, I call it, because all you see is boobs and thongs on TikTok. And I do go there occasionally and look around. But on TikTok, it's the Ron Kelly Show. On Instagram, it's R. Kelly Radio, and on Facebook and YouTube, it's the Ron Kelly Show. So definitely go to YouTube and subscribe to the Ron Kelly Show. Once again, it doesn't cost anything. It's absolutely 100% free. Okay. I know you'll miss those. I know I do too. Miss those stimulus payments. That was a good time. I mean, I don't mean to sound like that, but those stimulus payments, that was, a good time. See, they cut all of that out because people, there were folks who were getting the unemployment plus the extra $300. So there were a lot of people who just were like, I'm not going to work, because they were getting paid and probably making more money. Now, if you're working at McDonald's and you're getting an extra $300 unemployment, you're not going back to McDonald's. You're going to stay home or do whatever it is that you do. So what that led to was a shortage. It led to a shortage. So people were, I wanted to tell you something. So people were staying home. They like, I ain't going to work. They said they're not going to work. I'm not going nowhere. So just a program note on October 14th, I think it is October 14th. Let me see if I can get it up. I mean, pull it up. Jesus, if I can pull it up. How it's going down on October 14th. Michael Cavalcanti is going to be my guest on the Ron Kelly Show. October 14th, Michael Cavalcanti, a published author who's written a lot of really good books. And one of his books that we're probably going to focus on is how to get a man, keep a man, and marry a man. That's in no particular order, A Real Man's Perspective, which is on sale at Amazon, by the way, right now. Michael Cavalcanti, I think I'm saying that right. Michael Cavalcanti. I'm not sure if this book is still in. It is still in circulation. How to Get a Man, Keep a Man, and Marry a Man in no particular order. A Real Man's Perspective. Michael Cavalcanti. Michael Cavalcanti has agreed to come on to the Ron Kelly Show October 14th at 7 p.m. So he'll be here in 2 weeks. Michael Cavalcanti. And he's written a lot of really good books. The Art of the Job Interview is another one of his books that he wrote. You can get any of these books on Amazon. He's a published author. These books are at Amazon. You can get them at Barnes & Noble or wherever books are sold. And the one book about Michael Cavalcanti that's really interesting is A Father's Double Life. A Father's Double Life is a true story. It's Michael Cavalcanti's own story. It's a true story. The book is called A Father's Double Life. It's a true story and depicts the sexual molestation that he suffered, excuse me, at the hands of his father. If you or anyone you know has been a victim of rape, incest, child molestation, child abuse, or have not yet come to grips with the devastation, then you certainly want to read this book. That's available at Amazon.com. So we'll definitely delve into that book, A Father's Double Life, written by Michael Cavalcanti. So he will be here. Oh, okay. I thought I deleted myself. Michael Cavalcanti will be here. I believe I'm saying his name. I'm probably butchering his name. But Michael Cavalcanti will be here October 14th to talk about his book, A Father's Double Life. Wow. Incredible. Okay, it's 9 minutes before the hour, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me this evening. Pray for the world because the world has a lot of problems. I want to thank everybody for joining me. So look forward to Michael Cavalcanti not next Thursday, which will be the the 7th or the 8th. It's the following Thursday. Michael Capcanti will be here. All right, shout out to my people at Fume. I'll be over there in just a second as soon as I wrap up this program. And watch some of the football game. Just some of it, because it's like the boringest game. I think it's the Jaguars and the Bengals or something like that. Oh, God. But I'm going to go over there every way and chill with my friends. In just a few minutes right after this program ends. It's about 7.5 minutes before the hour. All right, so so I will be didn't get a lot of comments this evening, but that's fine. I will see my Facebookers, on Facebook, Twitter. Well, not Twitter. I mean, I'm on Twitter. It's the Ron Kelly Show on Twitter, but I know people on Twitter don't mess with Facebook, and people on Facebook don't mess with Twitter for some reason. And I like Twitter because in Twitter, you're not going to know anybody on Twitter. No, you're not going to know anybody on Twitter. Shout out to Suzanne Newman. Said, "Yeah, out there playing with Rob." Yeah, sad story, but yeah, and I'm sure Mr. Robinson probably wouldn't like that I said that. Mr. Robinson, the dad of Daniel Robinson, who's out there right now, actually out there in Arizona, someplace. And those are some desolate places. I'm not going out there walking around. They got mountain lions. You see, I know some of you saw the video of the guy who was being followed by mountain lions. Just thank God that the mountain lion didn't attack him. And so I'm not going out there. I'm not going out there where grizzly bears are. And no. I'm going to be where they are not. They can have that area. I'm not going to be out there with them. I'm not going to be out there with them. But and also too now, guys, if you have lions and tigers and bears, oh my! Now, shout out to Suzanne Newman. Now, if you guys have a program, I do accept suggestions if somebody wants to. If somebody wants to has a suggestion of what something that they want me to address, because I do get that every now and again. So if you do, you can message me on Facebook. Hey, Ron, talk about this, or hey, Ron, talk about that. It's perfectly fine. If that's what you want to do, you can do that. You can just message me and I'll talk about, if I find it interesting, of course, I'll talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about, as long as it's relevant to, as long as it's relevant, I have no problem with you guys. If you have something you want me to talk about, I have no problem with it. All right, so I want to thank you so much for watching, everybody. We appreciate you. It seems like there's so much death, like we're surrounded by death every time you turn around. Because I used to hear about people dying that I didn't know. I used to hear all the time, oh, so-and-so died. Oh, really? And I didn't know the person. But now it seems like more and more people that I know or I'm familiar with are passing away. So there's so much death around. So, for me, and peace be upon my dude Al Elliott, who passed away a couple weeks ago, and who we were friends, but we didn't really talk that much. And talk to your friends. I mean, we didn't have an issue or grudges or anything. We just really didn't talk that much to each other. And he died, and I felt like I missed out on something. So, if you got a grudge against somebody, drop it. Just drop the grudge, because it's not worth holding on to. Because if that person dies, you're going to feel like crap. So if you don't hold on to grudges, because they're not really worth it. Love somebody today. Love somebody. Show somebody some love. I try to do it as much as possible. And my awareness is up now because of all the death that's around. Because I want my legacy. I mean, if something happens to me and I die, you can watch me on this. There's hundreds of Ron Kelly shows on Facebook Live if you want to hear, and there's plenty of them on the Blog Talk Radio that you can hear, and there's a whole slew of them on Facebook, that you can see. So, and someone asked me one time, what do I want people to say about me after I'm gone? Because we're all going to go. And I said, well, I wouldn't care because I'm going to be dead. No, I do care. I do care what people are going to say about me in the end. And I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon, people, so let's get that out of the way. But I do care what people think about me or what people are going to say about me, even though I can't hear it. And even though I'll be off in the afterlife or whatever's waiting on the other side. But I do care about what people think about me. So I've made a decision that I'm not going to hold any grudges against anybody because I'm human and it does happen. But I'm going to stray away from that type of stuff. And I'm going to try to be the best person that I can be. Okay, everybody, it's a couple minutes left. I'm going to break out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you back here. Thanks to the folks who watched the show on YouTube. The YouTube viewership is inching up incrementally. And it's like I said, we just came back, so we got to get back in everybody else's head. But anyway, we'll see you back here next week for another edition of the R.Kelly Show. So until then, I say that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And that we may not have it all together. But you know what? Together, everybody, we can definitely have it all. So I know it sounds corny, but, we can, together, we can definitely have it all. So thank you so much, everybody. And I think I'm done.